A leaked military draft report about the failures of Donald Trump's weekend strike on Iran has, of course, been published by the press. CNN and the New York Times both had this story come out this week, which was based upon conversations with multiple different intelligence officials. And they all said the same thing. Donald Trump did not, as he claimed, obliterate Iran's nuclear facilities. We didn't get the uranium. In fact, we didn't even destroy the centrifuges. At best, they said, Trump set Iran's nuclear program back by months. So they're now just a couple months behind. Yeah, that's not obliterated, as Trump had declared over the weekend. It is, yeah, you kind of damaged the building. I guess we got to get a new roof. Maybe we got to patch some walls. But other than that, things are pretty okay for us. So Donald Trump, of course, once this report came out, went absolutely ballistic and completely lost his mind. But this time he wasn't alone. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth also went crazy, as did Secretary of State Marco Rubio. I will read you their statements in just a moment, but first, a quick word from one of today's video sponsors. For weeks now, all we've heard is how Trump's beautiful bill will slash Medicaid. But almost nobody is talking about what his MAGA loyalists slipped into this bill. Go to ground.news/Farron to see how they're trying to block judges from enforcing court orders unless you pay a bond first. Highly credible sources warn most Americans can't actually afford to do this. So if this bill passes and Trump violates the law, it wouldn't even matter. This is the GOP's flood the zone strategy. Distract us with headlines and bury the real power grab. And it's why I think Ground News is the best tool to expose these blind spots before it's too late. My partners built the only app and website pulling in news from across the globe, then breaking down each source's bias, credibility, and the stories the right tries to bury. And considering most people take the first headline they see as fact, if you're reading the news somewhere else, their browser extension will flag the source's bias and link other credible reports so you can verify the information. Ground News is a better version of how we're already staying informed. So I got my viewers 40% off the same unlimited access Vantage plan I've been using. That's $5 per month when you go to ground.news/Farron, scan my QR code, or click the link in the description. With at least another 4 years of this, they're counting on you to be distracted. This app is how you stay focused. So as I said, Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, and Marco Rubio did not take kindly to the reporting that they are all complete and total failures. So while they were at that NATO summit, all three of the men together, Pete Hegseth said this to reporters about the reports of his military mission completely failing. Hegseth said, "It was a top secret report. It was preliminary. It was low confidence. This is a political motive here. Of course, we're doing a leak investigation with the FBI right now because this information is for internal purposes. Battle damage assessments and CNN and others are trying to spin it to make the president look bad when this was an overwhelming success." Yes, except for every measure of success saying that it was not. And then Trump immediately interrupted Hegseth and chimed in and said, "We had a tremendous success, and this is the New York Times. I call it the failing New York Times. It's going to hell." And CNN, which, as you know, very few people are watching, and you would think they'd do the opposite. You would think that they'd want to say this was an unbelievable success, and the thing that hurts me is it's really demeaning to the pilots and the people that put the whole thing together, the generals. That was a perfect operation. And then Rubio attacked the leakers as well, saying that they are, quote, professional stabbers. All this leaker stuff, these leakers are professional stabbers. That's what they are. They go out and they read this stuff and then they tell you what it says against the law, but they characterize it for you in a way that's absolutely false. Then immediately Donald Trump jumps back in, still freaking out, and he says, two Iranians, went down to see it, and then they called back and they said this place is gone. So it's just fake news by CNN, which has got no ratings. It's a failed network. Anybody here from CNN, by the way? Because you're a really disgraceful network. MSNBC, I think, is actually worse, but they're all pretty bad. Yeah, way to stay on topic there, Grandpa. But also, Trump's like, no. Our intelligence assessment is wrong because we had two guys from Iran that actually, they walked down there and they called us back, he said. They called us and were like, no, dude, it's totally gone. Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, you don't need to send any more planes and missiles. Totally gone. You guys win. Oh, no, we're so devastated. Bye. So you sent just two dudes. That's what this is. Let's just call it that. They just sent two random guys, according to Donald Trump himself. We just sent two guys from a country that doesn't want us there, a country that does not want us bombing them. We just sent these two guys down there and they said everything was gone. So who are you going to believe? You going to believe the two dudes we found? Or are you going to believe the intelligence community? Because I'm going to put my faith in the two guys, right? We don't even know who the two guys are. Just two guys from Iran, hey, you guys want to go look at the missile site? Hell yeah, brother. That's what they're putting their faith in. Trump was not done with his meltdown. And after all of this took place, he then got on Truth Social in an all caps rant and said this: fake news CNN, together with the failing New York Times, have teamed up in an attempt to demean one of the most successful military strikes in history. The nuclear sites in Iran are completely destroyed. Both the Times and CNN are getting slammed by the public. No, that's just not a thing that's happening. Grandpa is living in dementia land, telling us things that are blatantly untrue, that have been confirmed by his own administration, by the way. Even J.D. Vance the other day was like, yeah, Iran kind of moved their stuff because Trump was tweeting it out. You're contradicting your own people. You're contradicting your own intelligence reports. You're contradicting what's coming out of the rest of the world. But you have the audacity to tell us that CNN and New York Times are fake news. They're the ones lying. We have to trust Donald Trump and two Iranian fellas who claim that everything was totally destroyed. Did you know that you might be missing out on wonderful content from me? I mean, you're here already because clearly you like what you see. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video, share them with your friends and family, but also follow me across the rest of the social media world. And it's not that hard to do. Whether it's X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, on every one of those platforms, you can find me at the username @FarronBalanced. Simple enough, right? So get on it. And if you don't feel like going to each one of those outlets individually, lucky for you, we have links in the description of this video to take you right to my pages across all of social media. So don't miss a minute. And while you're at it, make sure you're also subscribed to the Ring of Fire YouTube channel, which I have been hosting for many, many years now. We've got more than 1 million subscribers over there, and there is fresh content over there every single day of the week. So again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to this channel, and while you're at it, go subscribe to Ring of Fire at youtube.com/The Ring of Fire and @FarronBalanced across every social media platform that, of course, is not considered just a far-right hellscape. Well, maybe Twitter is, but that's a story for a different day.